What's going on? What's going on? It's your boy Ace Metaphor, and we are talking all things tonight's conversation. You do not want to miss this exclusive interview on the God Show coming up. Make sure you tune in. Peace.
Hey y'all, and welcome back to That's Debatable, the park bench of the internet. I'm your host, Stanza Yvette Esq, and today you'll notice the culture referee is not here with us. Ray had some other obligations, so me and the team are gonna hold it down today. To the left of me, we have the queensiest of them all, Jack Danz. Woo!
You know what it is. You know what it is.
All right, and always on my right side is your favorite contrarian, marketing and music guru, Brian Miller.
I'll take it. Take it.
To our viewers, we appreciate y'all showing love as always. If you want to get into some debates, be sure to follow us on Instagram. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and do all of the things so, you know, that you can help our show grow. The engagement has been awesome, and we appreciate you. The good comments and the bad comments.
We love the hate.
I know that's
Speaking
right.
of
Ray,
comments,
you don't want to be here for this.
Speaking of comments, I told y'all it was coming. A few episodes ago, I told y'all we were gonna start addressing the people in the comments because y'all be talking hella shit and we don't get to address you. So today, that stops.
Dum,
Dum, dum, dum.
I love it. Let's go.
So we will start with the first one being that we are Drake haters. They named us the Drake Haters Podcast. How do y'all
the
feel?
Drake Haters Podcast.
The Drake Haters Podcast.
Because we spoke the truth about Drake.
Yes.
That gotta be something from Canada.
That was from Lamb Chop Mox called us the Drake Haters Podcast.
I hope
What
it
are your
ain't no
thoughts on
dude
that?
named Lamb Chop. That ain't gangsta at all.
My issue with Drake people is this. Don't excuse bullshit behavior because he makes good music. The same thing I say about Kanye West, Puff, and anybody else who does bullshit. If we're in the media era and this half black man pops out and says, I'm crying because I don't feel like I've been treated fairly in a diss song. It's a diss song. You make diss songs. You've ended careers before. But now we're haters because we're pointing out that he is... Well, he got after Meek. I ain't gonna say he ended it, but he got after. You know what I mean?
Meek has not been the same since Back to Back.
I agree. And if
I
Meek,
think he ain't been the same
so if
since
Meek
Back.
had sued, would Meek have been cool with suing the label because he felt defamed by the label in a diss record by a rapper?
Exactly.
It's the softest shit I've ever heard. Well, mark me down, Drake hater, number one.
Also, we talk about Drake because this has been a back and forth for almost a year. There's new topics to speak about every week. So for us to be a podcast about current topics, I think it would be remiss for us to not speak on what's going on. And he's acting in his Karen capacity. I mean, and we're gonna
sit your ass down.
There's another one though from @LifeOfAdam 5668 says stop hate on Drake. Y'all need to work on. You know,
Well,
there's a lot of
It's a lot of Drake fans
yeah.
that watch the show,
They
and that's
said,
dope.
and then Ben have this is a lot going on because it's not phonetically correct. You know, there's a lot of sentence
ain't get the
fragments.
AI and
There's
fix
a lot
that
of
shit?
sentence fragments in this one.
Oh, God.
Have been. That's what he says.
Say it like that, yeah.
On top for 15 years in top, and you Americans bitter. So we know he's not.
He's definitely
He's Canadian and cannot spell
first
the
of
right,
all,
clear and coherent sentence.
My first response is, wet? What did you say?
Don't you know?
Yeah, and the second thing is this. For the record, I don't think anybody up here hates Drake. I think that we come up here every day to talk about topics that influence what's going on in the outside world, and Drake just happens to keep himself in it. So if you don't like it, I mean, you know, I get it, but, you know, give him a hug or something.
Well,
hey,
I think
give him a hug.
I think that they have to be flattered. I mean, because honestly, Drake has been probably trending or the hottest topic probably for the last 48 weeks. Maybe.
If it makes you feel better, Drake sold records and is actually doing shows because of this beef. So
Right.
should be thankful.
So at the end of the day, this is the park bench, so we're gonna talk about everything, including your mama.
Everything,
No doubt.
Yeah,
I ain't talking
and
about your
period.
mama, no.
Well,
I would.
And
Brian,
Jack sits
this
next to the
one-
window, not me.
This
Go ahead.
comment is for you at 85_till_infinity says that guy about the statute of limitations being 90 days sounds like a creep and an abuser.
Oh.
He is victim blaming instead of holding the monsters accountable.
Yes.
How about you don't do the damn crime? He sounds like a straight weirdo and punk.
Damn. Wow. Woman or man said that? Because I
That is
want to
a
be
woman.
respectful.
That's a woman.
So, okay. So this is what I'll say to a woman, because I wouldn't say this to a man. Fuck you. That's number one. And I'm kidding. Here's the thing about that, though. What's the name again?
85 to infinity.
_infinity till infinity.
85 up on out of there. Here's my thing. Ultimately, at the end of the day, do you want justice or do you want to cry about it? Because you say victims. I get that part. But the victims don't come after justice. They come after a check.
bread.
And they come after a check 20 years later when that's opened up. So why don't y'all just open up class action suits against abusers? Like, hey, Jack Danz has abused people. Join the class action
Don't put that on my
You know what I'm saying? I feel you. Here's what I'm saying.
Let's retort that.
This is my point, right? And I'm gonna make this.
No.
I'm gonna make this solid point.
You
I'm
gonna
gonna
make
this
us
solid
yeah,
point.
bring it home for us.
Why do we have police? Why do we have police?
They're supposed to be to
To
protect,
protect and serve, right?
That's what they're supposed to
Here's
do.
my thing. Police don't come just when they're called. Police will go if they see a commotion. So if I show up as a police officer and everybody's like, wait, I'm not ready to discuss what happened to me yet. Police are like, excuse me, move. Let me arrest this guy. We're not seeking justice. That's my problem. My problem is if people came out 20, 30, 10, 15 to 30 years later and said, you know what? Put him in jail, please. But the first thing is always the civil in most of these cases. And that's my point. So you want to end it all? You want justice? Lock them up. Find the courage. I know that it sucks to hear a man say that to quote unquote victims. But 90 days, I've committed this egregious crime. So you're letting me be out there, right? For 89 days, if you go all the way to 90 and I'm doing it to other people, stop me.
It's not the victims. It is not the victims.
Who is it?
It is not up to the victim to pursue to stop them from doing the crime.
No, you missed the point of what I'm saying.
What you saying?
Cassie came out today, I think on her Instagram stories, and she said, kudos to all the people who could face those moments in their lives and that you could move on from it and things of that nature. And that people, you know, the egregious ones have come to justice. So here's my thing. You want justice 30 years later? And I've told y'all this before. Everything that abuser does to anybody else, look at it this way. Victims,
your fault.
it's your fault.
Nah.
You could have... Stanza, listen.
Nah.
I hear what you
We
say.
don't agree to disagree,
Okay,
'cause
so let me
nah,
put it to you like
absolutely
this.
not.
Let me put it to you like this.
Absolutely not.
I put
You
it back in
can't
the
tell
comic book
anyone
stance.
how to-
But hold on. Comic
Okay.
book stance, right? Spider-Man. Everybody, if you know the story, the man who killed his uncle, he literally said, that's not my problem. You go do your thing, right? And that night, he killed Spider-Man's uncle, which is why Spider-Man remembered with great power comes great responsibility. And I'll leave it at that. Just being totally honest
We'll
with you.
leave it
I
at that.
get it. It's hard. I understand that part. It's mental, it's hard. But guess what? You also have a responsibility to yourself and to other people that person could affect. Or don't get on the bandwagon ever. That's why they call it a statute of limitations.
Well, Miss Infinity, he's standing on what he said.
Yeah, I'm standing on it, but
He's
you're more
standing
than
on what he
welcome to
said.
come up
Well,
here and
maybe
stand
you need to
outside
hop
the
on her
window.
DM and y'all have a one-on-one discussion.
me.
I
or something.
don't know, but this one is for me. More at Morgan Side Stew TV says the woman commentating never makes sense. 100 emoji.
Ooh.
And just say y'all don't like black women with an opinion, because that's what I get from the men in the comments with no picture, no anything. Y'all just don't
black
like.
woman with an
Y'all don't
opinion.
like a black woman with an opinion. But we thank you for watching anyway. And I'm still the commentator.
The
You can't
voters
do
also
anything
don't
about
like,
it.
black
I
women
got
with
the gavel.
opinions.
You don't.
I'm just saying the
So-
country doesn't like black women with opinions. Evidently, that's
Period.
what the voters.
So whatever.
Yeah, doing some
And
shit,
we're here. All right. Now that we've addressed a little bit, we'll bring in the good comments, because we do get a lot of them, and we're thankful and we're grateful for the good ones, but it's just a little more juicy to
Just don't talk about my mama.
address the negative
they
ones.
gonna
I have
bash
a-
your moms.
I'm like Taken. I have a particular
Let's-
set of skills. I will find you.
So let's hop into our first topic. Diddy's lawyer, Anthony Ricco, quits defense team, says under no circumstances can I continue. Ricco submitted a motion seeking to withdraw from the case. Ricco did not provide a reason for his request, in which, like I said, he said under no circumstances can he serve as counsel for Sean Combs, according to an affidavit. A judge will need to grant Ricco's motion before he's dropped from the case. However, Combs will still have 5 other attorneys defending him in his federal sex trafficking case. It is important to note that Ricco defended Osama bin Laden in
crazy.
2001.
So he rather defend a terrorist than Puff?
I think that says a lot about
What the
this
fuck
case.
is this world coming to?
Listen, he said Osama had a case, bro. He said this man does not have a case and he does not have time.
What do
I
y'all
don't think
think
Puff
this
has
is?
a
Well,
case.
Osama had that bread
think
too.
he has-
No, I think when you're a lawyer, I think, at this point, I don't know what Puff's money looks like. I don't know how slow payments are coming in, if they're coming in at all. I don't know what promises are being made, but if you are spending months, probably going to be years of your time, and there's not a shot, then it's like, it is what it is. I personally don't wish bad on anybody, but if you ask me my opinion, I don't think Puff has a shot of
think he
not
got a
doing
shot.
time.
I think he
a
has
shot
a
of
shot.
doing what?
Going to jail, going to prison.
No. I think because, we had, well, not we, sorry. Let's be clear. Not we.
Record scratch.
They.
You was at the freak offs?
No.
I mean, you are the queensiest, so I mean, shit.
No, we don't do things of that magnitude in Queens. Sorry, but I think that everyone has a chance. I think that there's a chance.
You remember Harlem Nights?
that maybe he could get on.
He got a
Chance?
shot.
No,
shot in his
everyone-
ass. He ain't.
But-
Due
Puff is
process
done, bro.
gives everyone a chance at a fair trial. However, not everyone has a
But
chance to be acquitted.
I think I don't know if it's necessarily about the case. I think probably what it is that it's a really sensitive thing that he's defending. So we don't know what type of women he got in his life. We don't know what type of skeletons this man may have in his closet.
But you know
So-
what he can't say? He's not capable of doing those things. In video,
That's what he said. Or you?
I'm saying character-wise, you don't remember his when he was on the beach, wherever the hell he was.
No.
and he was
We
apologizing
talking
on
about
that?
why the lawyer dropped the case. Why he wants to
No,
drop
that's
the
what
case.
you said. Everybody has a shot. I'm telling you, I don't think Puff has a shot. I don't think Puff has a leg to stand on. I don't think if you get on the stand as an abuser or whatever, multiple charges, but that one in particular, how do you defend that? Like, I'm not capable of doing these things. And it makes your credibility is gone, right? I mean, if you are literally in a court of law, the first thing you want to do is discredit the witness if you're trying to prove something against him. And that's in video, bro. Like,
Well, the video killed that. I
Without
think
that video,
that's when it really
I
started
thought he
going
had a shot.
downhill after the video.
I did think he had a shot.
You know what I'm
before the
saying?
video.
But God bless him, man. Let's
Yeah,
just,
God bless him.
what you call it? ASAP's lawyer was on the Breakfast Club speaking about this case and some of the things he thinks that his lawyers are doing wrong. And a point that he made was that, the Cassie video has nothing to do with the sex trafficking of these victims. And so he thinks that his lawyers are overly zealous about responding to everything that comes out. And he was like, I would just let it be. But I do think that there's a certain level of guilt when you feel like you have to combat and kind of fight against everything as it comes out, because, you are fighting an active case. But to have your lawyers address every single thing, I think it will, harm him later on, because it just looks like you're guilty because you have to, Mr.
got
Combs is
20
is-
years
I mean, it
overall.
seems like every week
Mr.
is some
Combs
other shit.
victims, bro.
just
It's-
denies him, he denies this, he denies, like, it's just extreme denial, every time something hits and it's like your client is a celebrity. He's gonna continuously get accused of something. But every time something comes out, it's like they're on attack to discredit the victim before the case is even, they even stood trial for the case.
And
So
you got to think
I
he got
it's
30
crazy.
years of diddling.
But here's the problem that I got with people, right? And this is why.
diddling,
He got about 30, 40 years of diddling.
He's an
about
extreme
this for a
diddler.
second. And you know this, being a personality.
He's
and
been
so do
diddling
you.
for a while.
We don't, as real people, like, we're not celebrities, but we are personalities. As real people, when things like that would hit us, we all talk about if that was me. But when we get in those moments, it becomes a publicity statement, right? I would never be that guy. It would be like, look, dude, whatever you saw, dark times, right? It happened. This happened, obviously, you know what I mean? But again, I'm not going to defend myself. I wish it hadn't. Yeah. Leave it alone, because human nature takes over in people sometimes, and it makes people say, like the Drake fans, he's cool. Like, leave the man alone. We were on this panel saying, hey, man, Puff got a shot, man. You know, it might be slim, but he got one. Then we saw the video, and we were like,
yeah, he's kind of
you know what I mean?
That nigga's about it.
I thought something else was interesting with this is that this past week it's alleged that Diddy practices in necromancy.
Lord
and
knows.
let's address necromancy is not necrophilia. Necrophilia.
So why don't you define that? Because I'm
necromancy
from Southside. I'm a little dumb.
the practice of communicating with the dead. So he's communicating in order to kind of they want to predict the future. So it's like you communicate with the dead to try to see.
So he do seances and
got
like
Kind of
bad
something
joke
like
cards
something
and
along
shit
those
like
like
that.
he's trying to see.
I don't want 85
what's-
to infinity coming
Yeah,
after
he
my
wants
ass
to
again,
see. A lot of people use necromancy to see what's to happen in the future.
Okay.
So I thought that was crazy because I saw Diddy's name next to necrophilia, and I was like, what the. Who's dead
God.
and where is he getting?
Maybe he's talking to bed.
It's crazy.
Now listen, I didn't say this. Stanza did. But
Wait.
Puff, if you can hear me, are the Lakers going? Do they have a shot?
This nigga's crazy.
That's all I want to know. I didn't say
What you think?
That man
So-
is fighting for his life.
so-
and you talking about your
so
Lakers.
what?
He's fighting for his life, and you're talking about the Lakers.
So what you-
but I do want to. I will give them that
nigga's
because
crazy.
being accused of engaging in necrophilia activities is a hell of an accusation. But it's necromancy, ladies and gentlemen, which is different. It deals with the dead. But it's the communication with the
That's
dead,
right. We
not
on our Whoopi
the act.
Goldberg
He's not
thing
an
around
active
here. He's not
participant with
doing
the
crazy.
dead, so that we know.
So you think he's with Dr. Bus wishing for a Lakers championship? That's what
I
you're
think
saying.
I want to know if he's with Dr. Bus and if they know something.
So let me ask you a question. So with this necromancing or whatever the shit is, right? Is it like some Ouija board shit?
I don't practice necromancy. I
But
can't
I mean,
tell you.
you got
All
the
I know
talent.
is what
I
I
mean, you
researched.
from
Queens.
All I know is what I
We don't do-
researched.
we don't do that bullshit in
See,
Queens.
I came up with the grandma didn't even let me watch Harry Potter, so I don't deal in all of these things. I don't know. We don't communicate with
let
the
me-
dead
let me ask you
where
a
I'm
question.
from. So
I mean, I don't think no one. I don't think no one actively tries to communicate with the dead, but I feel like I've had dreams
what they
that people
said. People
that
actually-
have died in my life have come and talked to me in my dreams. So is that the same thing?
no,
Okay.
they are like
necromancy is a practice. It's a
Okay.
practice. It's almost like a religion,
Oh, okay,
religious
cool.
practice of trying to communicate with the dead. It's almost like what is it? Oops.
I ain't doing
It's
it.
what you call it. Like
Kind of like voodoo in a way.
Mediums,
Okay.
mediums, like people that connect with the dead, that talk to your love,
Right.
your passed on loved one. It's similar to that.
Miss
but-
Cleo shit.
Yes, seances.
Yeah, you gotta get
Similar.
that Freddy Krueger shit up out of here.
Yeah, I'm
Fuck
good.
that.
No, we can move on from that. shit. That's
Crazy.
a no.
Let's move on.
Let's move on. I just wanted to give the definition because they were accusing this man. When I saw that, I was like, necrophilia.
That what I mean, like having sex with a corpse.
No.
Yes, that's
Oh.
exactly
That's
what that means.
necrophilia.
Yeah, that's
Oh, yeah,
necrophilia. But we're talking about
I don't want that
communicating with the dead. So thought that was important. Let's
Definitely don't want that feeling.
use our words wisely because we're accusing that man of some craziness. All right. Our next topic: Tiger Woods, Kodak Black, and Boosie, among others,
They should start a
attended the
group.
White House's reception honoring Black History Month. You know, that's just the topic. I just want to lay it out there because I think it's very interesting that Tiger Woods, a man that has outwardly said that he doesn't like to be called black, doesn't want to be addressed as black, is there as a black representative in the White House. I just think it's weird. We can get to the others, but I thought Tiger Woods being there was hilarious.
Well, maybe
seen-
Trump got him to help him practice his stroke. You know he owns. No. Come on, no. Everything. Why everything gotta be paused?
Because you
The
been
nigga
saying
owns a-
all
the
day.
nigga-
You're Mr. Pause.
The
Nobody
nigga,
can say anything.
Come on.
And you're
Let's be mature here. The nigga owns a golf. He owns a golf course.
What does that mean?
So he's with everything putting it together. Maybe like
You're
I mean,
literally Mr.
Listen
Boss.
to me very carefully.
I don't know.
He has a prerequisite for black people. It is your skin color or your level of ignorance. That is it. If you are ignorant, please come on, because you don't know any better. And if you have sold out, please come on if you match the shade.
we know
I
Tiger
think
Man did
you
that.
made a great point because I mean, then you have the Tiger Woods, greatest golfer to walk the face
gives
of the
a
earth.
damn what he
then
says?
The Kodak and Boosie.
I want to find old boy and make the fried chicken
But you know,
statement again.
Tiger Woods has kind of been out of the like. I mean, I think ever since the Dave Chappelle skit, niggas ain't fucking with Tiger Woods like that.
Did they serve fried
'Cause-
chicken?
And then didn't he have like a sex scandal too?
Who?
Tiger Woods.
I don't know, but you keep bringing all that up.
Thousands of
he
women. But I mean,
talks
that's
smoke.
something.
And necromancing and feel you like, and then pausing. Like, man, what is happening today,
I don't know,
Jack?
man.
What I mean,
Hole in one.
See what I mean?
how do we feel like? Okay, but listen. So what do we feel? But how do we feel as Kodak and Boosie being the black representative in the White House?
Representing
That's a
what?
little
I don't-
insulting,
Yeah, I don't
to say the least. A little, just a
Kodak
tad.
and Boosie are on a mission, and I'm gonna keep it at that. That's why I'm gonna keep
They
that in my
definitely are
heart.
on a mission. I think because
Boosie cried out.
Boosie made a
Yeah.
cry for Mr. Trump to save him and to Massa, please get rid of my charges,
charges.
please.
Well, I think on
Massa,
a
please.
serious note, Boosie was locked up for a minute, so maybe who knows? Maybe he's trying to advocate for prisoner reform in Louisiana.
advocating
Maybe trying
for
to get
his
C Murder
charges.
home. Who knows?
If this don't work out, comedy.
You know what I'm saying?
Trust me. That was funny. No, nigga,
No,
listen to me.
They're tap
Very
dancing.
carefully.
Tap
no,
dancing.
they are tapped into. I heard you were giving out little packages if we showed up, and if my pardon could
I
be
mean, of
part
course
of
they
it.
got a couple of dollars,
Well,
but
that's called
I like
selling
but I like to believe.
Yeah.
I like to believe
sure.
with that couple of dollars that they went in there with a mindset of something that maybe can be beneficial. I would think that's like I'm a hood nigga. If Donald Trump said, "Hey, Jack, I'm gonna give you 100,000 to come to the White House," of course I'm taking 100,000, right? But I'm gonna think about something.
100,000
Of
from Trump.
course, why not?
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, when you pass on, you should say, "Let me stop by the Devils right quick. I just want to see what he has for me."
Well, listen. Donald Trump is a Queens nigga, first of all.
No, he called you a Queens nigga.
No,
There's
but
a difference.
he's literally Donald Trump is a Queens nigga. So just off the strength of that, I gotta go. But I'm just saying, seriously though, I feel like
Wait. Off the strength that
wear
Donald
my
Trump
hood
is
for the rest of
from
the damn
Queens,
episode. My
you're gonna
black
go
hood.
to what is that?
no, I'm saying all the strength of the bread that they paying first and foremost. Purse first, ass last, always.
What?
So we're gonna get the money. Well, what I'm saying is, I would think someone like a Boosie or Kodak, like, okay, we know that they're going there for the look because it's money and it's a look, but maybe they have something substantial that they could be trying to,
A couple of
help.
weeks ago, Kodak
Possibly.
Black was high in the middle of the street eating chicken. You think he went into the White House with a motive to help our people?
Maybe he
We don't
delivered
know
the
that.
chicken.
You and this chicken.
I'm just saying, man, Jack.
Listen,
You got
If
you
a
cannot
person
be that
walked in
naive
here
at all
and
to
literally-
think that Kodak Black walked in. The man is high off drugs every time I see him now. That he's zooted, and you think that he went
Jack,
in there
I
with
got a
the
question for
idea
you.
like, yeah, I'm finna really do one for
what
the
I'm saying
people.
is, Just think about this logically.
He collected a check and he went
collected
the
a
fuck
check,
home.
right?
He collected a check and went the fuck home.
Is
That's
there
what he
ever
did.
an instance where collecting the check is a bad thing?
All
Of
money
course.
ain't good money.
So you think this is one of those good times?
I think this is.
'Cause I
Jack
mean-
is going to the White House because it's one
this is
queasiest nigga to the next.
This is my new term. This
He's
is
going.
this is a digestible time to do that. Like I think that
Put that
with
on the screen.
certain reasons, for
Jack,
certain reasons,
SAT
it could
words.
be okay. Again, we don't know what his motives are. We don't know. We don't listen. We can't.
Whose motives? Trump's or Kodak's?
Kodak's.
You don't have a TV at home?
Listen,
you can watch both of them.
But we watching. We're judging him just based off of the negativity. Like the man is probably smart behind closed doors. Well, actually, he is.
so you
Like,
just don't want to be smart in public.
No, of course not. It's part of the character. But that doesn't say that he might not have an agenda or someone in his ear is like, all right, cool. Well, we know what you're doing is, but someone, he might just be there as the face, right?
So
and
I'm an
have someone that's a little bit
ignorant,
smarter.
chickeny Negro in the street. But when I show up, I got you.
I think we're
they
giving,
will listen
I
to
think
me.
you're giving Kodak way too much.
Well, maybe they had chicken
Way
marsala.
Well, you know what?
Way too much.
All
I
right,
think you're giving, it's a little too much dip
I
on
don't have
Kodak's
anything for
chip.
that.
It's, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna try to top that.
So are we saying that just because obviously he has an issue, but just because we see that we don't think he has a shred of intelligence in him?
Did I say that?
I'm asking.
I said that he didn't go in there with any other
Your
agenda
career.
than to collect
How do you
the
know
check.
that?
Your entire
To collect
career
the
is
check.
predicated on somebody going in the room and representing Jack to the fullest to be competent and capable of doing something. And you have an option: send me, Stanza, or Flavor Flav. Which one you sending in there?
I'm gonna send Stanza.
Okay, why not Flavor Flav?
Stanza's smarter. And she's a woman. She knows how to, articulate and handle things a little bit
guess
more
what?
eloquently.
All of us smart Negroes said, Flavor Flav sat in the street and went and took the chicken marsala over there to
What
Tiger
I'm saying
Woods.
is, okay, we know that Kodak was there, but like I know, when people go to these places, he may have had the real brains or the person with him that was politicking with Trump's people. We don't know what happened behind the scenes. We just know what we saw. That's what I'm saying.
I'm sure that I'm sitting in this chair, and I'm sure that's not the truth. I'm certain of those two things.
I put money on that one.
Hitting me.
Is Trump queensier than you?
What?
Is Trump queensier than you?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Nah,
So you are
not
next.
at all. He
to
from
the White
Forest Hills.
House.
I'm from Baisley, Southside Jamaica.
That's what I'm talking about.
Can't be more queasy than me.
That's what I'm
Big
talking
baby.
about.
Can't be more queensier than Jack. He's the queensiest of them all, ladies and gentlemen.
Like good times, ain't we lucky we got him? Let's go.
Dun, 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 dun.
I'm ready.
All right. Next, ASAP Rocky has been found not guilty in his shooting trial. A jury's acquittal of ASAP Rocky put rest to the case as it has hung over his head for years that threatened to derail his life and career. We all know that he has a lady, Rihanna, and two children by her. His lawyer, Joe Tacopina, I think it's Tacopina.
Just say T.
Joe
T.
took to the Breakfast Club to speak about the case. And yeah, what do we see about that?
I have a question for you because
What
you're an
about it?
attorney.
What's going on?
Do you think, you don't have to answer, do you think he was guilty?
I think he had an incredible lawyer. I think that the jury didn't even believe his defense, but his lawyer was able to see the law. The legal system is not about innocence or guilt. It is about proving the case beyond reasonable doubt, and the defense's job is to poke holes in the prosecutor's case.
So let me ask you
I think
this.
that his defense, because ASAP Rocky was their key witness, and he perjured himself on the stand.
He did that.
He was one of the worst.
He was combative.
He was combative. He was yelling. The judge had to calm him down several times. So when you have a hostile witness, they would call them hostile witnesses when they act like that. Hostile witness on the stand, and this is your key witness. I mean, he lied about never shooting a gun, and then they went through his phone because when you have to turn over these things,
Sure.
you get subpoenaed the phone, you have the records and everything else. ASAP's lawyer was able to show that he was in LA shooting, a gun in a gun range and had a video in his phone. So I think that the witness, them hanging the case on one witness, similar to like the Young Thug trial, it's
Right.
like they were hanging their case on people, and people change over time. You don't know what they're going to do. It doesn't appear to me that the prosecution walked with ASAP Rocky through this on what they were going to say, and he was able to just poke so many holes. And I've seen that some of the jurors did not believe the defense, but they could not convict him because there were so many holes being poked in the prosecution's case.
Let me ask you this, because it's no longer it's the court of public opinion now, and it's hard to keep this stuff away from the public prior to. You think being married to Rihanna helped?
See, and he spoke about that on the Breakfast Club as the reason why they thought it was a stunt for her to bring the kids on the last day. But like he said, that might have been, if he was found guilty, that might have been the last time the kids saw their dad.
True.
It's hard when you get a non-biased jury when you're that big, when you're associated
my
with
point. I don't
someone
think you can get
that
one.
big. I don't think that you can have a truly non-biased jury. However, I don't think it had, like, taking Rihanna outside of this, I still think he's acquitted. I still think he's acquitted.
She spent a grip though. She spent. I don't even understand how she spent $30 million.
They said that's debunked. That was like a rumor. That
Oh
was
yeah,
thrown
it's
out there.
like maybe 300,000. I can see. But
Yeah. And I mean, lawyers are expensive. Trial attorneys are expensive, but I don't see her spending $30 million
Shit is like the
on this
GDP
case.
of a small company.
We should
country. Shit.
We should let Kodak get
But I wanted to talk
past
about
the bar.
the ASAP's lawyer was on the Breakfast Club and he spoke. And he said a few things about Diddy and not, he's a Rock Nation lawyer. He said a couple of things. One being that he wouldn't have represented Diddy, and he spoke to why he actually turned down the case. They offered it to him and he turned it down. But also he said that Diddy and Jay-Z are not friends.
I thought that was either.
Interesting. I don't know. I didn't think
You see Diddy and Jay-Z together at the Rock Nation brunch. Like when do you ever see Diddy and Jay-Z do anything?
the relationship went sour. I wonder what caused it to go sour.
I'll be perfectly honest with you. Without saying too much, I think Jay-Z started minding his own business. I think there was a stint where he was like, you know what? Yay, Puff, all of that. And with the level of business that I'm trying to do now, and it's not just music anymore, it's industry. I don't need to be associated and affiliated with the BS.
Do you think Jay-Z knew like a shakedown was about to happen, or did he like distance himself right in time, or what do y'all think?
I think people knew. And I think that when that type of heat comes down to the point of, we haven't heard any more than there's a federal investigation after they went swimming ducks into this man's house and took everything, right? And
they raided both houses at the same time.
Correct. And that takes power. And I keep going back to that training day scene where it's like you literally have to go ask for permission to do that kind of thing. I think those that needed to know knew, and they were like, yo, clean up your houses because this is about to go down.
But see, I think it's just like in the world, in the streets, like you have friends that you come up with, and over time y'all just separating into different things. So we know like Jay is, married and has his family image, and we know that Puff is the consummate playboy, for lack of a better term. So I mean, there could be other things like, business shit and a lot of shit that goes on behind the scenes that they just could have just grew apart. And not to say that they're not friends per se, but they just may not have been as close as they were.
I think business makes you fraternal. Yeah. You know how many people, like, I'm not going to call them all friends. Like, we're cool. You know what I mean? Like, you come up in a business over 20 and they 30, 40 years in the business. There's no way at that level and being as successful, two of the most successful black men to ever do it, that they're not cool and built a camaraderie and have done amazing things together. But when if you saw how Jay-Z distanced himself from Kanye, he was like, whoa, no, that's so off brand. I'm not doing that. I think it's the same thing. Like a lot of these kids, and I call them kids because they don't grow up in the business. It's like, Puff, you're like, how old is Puff now?
Probably like damn near 60, right?
Okay, so you
probably mid-50s.
And I get it. Your relevancy
55.
is... Okay, so 55. I'm not take that in anybody's club with $500 million, even if I got $100 million in the bank. It's like, hey, Justin, y'all going out there, handle that. I'm not doing that. That's retarded. But they can't give that up.
Yeah.
And I think Jay-Z is, I had this conversation, and I won't mention who, but I was, I asked somebody at Rock Nation, I'm like, yo, so what's up musically? They're like, music? Like, yes, we will always be, built, that's our foundation, but they make hundreds of millions of dollars in sports entertainment and things of that nature. And they've got linen companies and things that they don't have time for.
Well, see, that's the thing. Like, anything that I guess is close to Puff is toxic at this point. And that's probably why, because just think about it. It's just like if you're in the street and your man getting to something and your lawyer is good, you're going to be like, yo, take my lawyer to help you get off of it, right? So in this instance, it's probably like, nah, we ain't fucking with that. Like, we need you right here. Yeah, I feel you. Doing what we doing here. So, it is what it is.
It's weird, man. The
rich nigga
entertainment
shit, they can figure it
business
out.
is fickle to a fault. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. Moving on. Next topic is, I don't know. I think it's been interesting to watch on social media, but Little and Big Meech appear to be on tour for a new sugar daddy. They've been pictured several times recently with 50 Cent's ops. There's Rick Ross and Floyd Mayweather. My problem with this is that they weren't pictured with them prior to the falling out, or Lil Meech has not been pictured with them prior to the falling out. So I just think it's just lame. But what are your thoughts?
I mean, they meeching.
What does that mean?
You ever heard of mooching?
Yeah.
Meeching.
Okay.
So at the end,
Put that on the screen.
so look, at the end of the day, like we know the impact and the folklore of Big Meech and all of these rappers and entertainers, especially. I remember like when I first started coming to Atlanta, being in the club and the shit raining, like, you know what I'm saying? So I think at the end of the day, you know, what he's doing is like, fuck it, I'm home. You know, all you guys talk about me in these interviews, all you guys talk about me in these raps, y'all gotta pay rent, pay some homage.
Yeah, Meech can get interviews and tell his story and still get paid without being a side chick to
I
some
don't
rich
think,
dudes.
but see,
No, think about it for a second. You 50 helped you. He's like, yo, bruh, when your family was down, I had
That
your
was
back.
fucked up.
Okay, so you
I
get
agree.
out, and my op, who you know is my op, you're filming with this dude. I'm telling you the problem that I have with it, right? I'm telling you. And you, instead of just being like, yeah, you know what? Damn, Fifth, I ain't even look at it that way. And dude probably used me in that regard. My bad. You know what I'm saying? He was like, what? You know what I mean?
It probably was an ego thing. He probably felt like,
doesn't
who
matter.
the fuck is E? I'm not justifying it because I'm on 50's side with
Right.
this. Like, if you help me put money in my pocket and you did things that kind of like help hold my family down, which in essence probably helped him while he was in jail.
Yeah.
He should have been indebted, but
You have no real relationship with Floyd
Right.
Mayweather, but you
but
are
the ego
on
thing,
this man's side.
But the ego thing is, well, who the fuck is going to tell me who I can talk to and who I can't? So I think that, but I think 50 and Floyd might have patched. I thought they had patched things up a couple of years ago. Like
Does 50 patch anything up with
I think
anyone?
with him and Floyd was
I
really
didn't-
close
I
at
didn't-
one.
yeah, I didn't
I
know that.
think they
for
had.
Floyd to indulge the way he's doing right now, I can't see
Yeah,
that.
it,
Well-
doesn't, it looks like everybody is just kind of being petty.
Yeah.
I think also to note that they were saying that Lil Meech is now broke, and that he ran through $5 million. And I think it's crazy because, like we were discussing before, a couple podcasts ago, we were saying that 50 was kind of going too hard at Lil Meech, like it's his dad that you have the beef with. And now it just kind of seems like he's stood, with his father, which makes sense. But I think to his detriment, because if you're going broke, like 50 allegedly put him through, rehab, acting school, put money in his pocket, which he's putting money in his dad's pocket because he's taking.
Reason why I was messed up.
Well,
right.
he
So
feels betrayed.
I think now to see him on the other side and kind of just pandering, because it looks like all of these photo ops, these videos, it's like they're just trying to like get a gotcha moment and show like, hey, we over here now. But just last week you were crying. You were
Everybody taking a
crying.
check.
He was crying to like, hey, that's my dad. That was not me. And now it seems like he's leaning in on, I'ma just fuck with your ops. So because I need the money, my daddy need the money, and I done blew through everything you gave me.
It's hilarious how, and again, you attacked me on social media yesterday. It's so unqueensy of you. But here's my thing. For y'all to be the most stand-on business folks, it's like y'all get off the business so quick. It's
You
like,
talking about Queens people?
I'm talking about whoever.
Oh,
you ain't about to get Queens up in here
put a
attacking
name
me.
on it. You can't say y'all
Hell
because I don't
no.
know what y'all means.
Look at the glass
I
behind
don't
you,
know
boy.
what-
You can see up
I
in
don't
here.
know.
I'm
I
not
see
saying
a
nothing
Mary
about
Rock
Queens.
Company. I don't.
This
I
is
don't
what
know.
I'm saying. What I'm saying is Big Meech, Kodak Black, everybody, all these cats that stand on business. Boosie, one of the biggest stand on business people. You can't get off business when it's convenient. Don't work that way. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. If you went fifth, then be with fifth because they were dead ass wrong.
I think that it was a meme that was shared a couple of times, and it was sent to Michael Rainey Jr., who plays Tariq on Power, which he just won like best actor or some shit at the NAACP award, which he a cool dude. But anyway, like they was like, why didn't Tariq like help him or school him? And then he said he tried, but Little Meech always was trying to big bro him. And that's what I mean. It's just like it may be just an ego thing. It's just like
They're similar.
even though
Michael J.
they
Rainey
they
has
don't
been
feel
in the
like they have to
game.
do that.
We all got egos.
Yeah,
but
But
that
I
doesn't-
mean, ego is a gift and a curse.
You know what? That's actually true. That's true. Ego is a gift and a curse. But here's the thing about that. You bit the hand that genuinely fed you.
That's fucked up. But I mean, hey, you know. So.
What else we got?
It's just crazy to see
I don't
him
like
in the pictures together, in videos.
It's just
lame.
real suckerish
It was
to me.
real lame to me. Like it didn't do what they thought it was gonna do. And I think the internet agrees that whatever 50 is coming with after this,
Oh, ain't no time.
Come on, Southside
warranted.
niggas is hot.
Boy,
You can't say anything about him doing
you
too
surely
much
can't. Not at this point.
Yeah, y'all asked for it.
It is what it is.
All right, moving on. On another episode of Fuck Around and Find Out, Tasha K has agreed to pay $1.2 million over 5 years to keep Cardi's name out of her mouth. Cardi B had previously objected to Tasha K's bankruptcy case. So Tasha K, you know, there's been this long-standing battle between them. I think starting in 2019, Cardi sued her for defamation. She was awarded, you know, the $3.9 million order that Tasha K had to pay. Well, Tasha K then files a bankruptcy case, and Cardi objected to it. So this deal that they cut was it seems as if because Cardi's team agreed to drop the objections to the bankruptcy plan for this payment plan. So it appears that they made this agreement so that she will drop, so Tasha K can still file for bankruptcy.
Tasha K had to come with the goods and say, look, I don't have
All of it
3.9.
right now.
Right.
I
But I
got
can
about
get you
500,000, but I need to break that up. I got to go thrifting
Yeah,
this
they
week.
said that she's supposed to pay monthly installments over the
wonder
next
how much
5
they pay
years.
herself per month.
Oh, no, that's
Tasha
good for her,
owes
though.
$3.9 million. However, the debt is still owed. However, it appears that the deal was struck in order to have the objections to her bankruptcy case dropped. What are your thoughts?
You know what Cardi about to do with that bread, right?
Listen,
You know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, I'm going to let you go ahead. Go ahead.
She about to send that shit to Western Union and get her a fucking mansion in fucking Boca Chica, Wandolio, some shit over there, and build her another mansion. in
Whatever
DR.
she
You
gets,
know.
she deserves, though. I'm going to
Porta
tell you
Plata,
why.
Sosua,
Yeah,
some
absolutely.
Cabarete.
Because
Because y'all
she's-
shouldn't.
yeah,
Everybody can't
keep her
say.
name out your mouth.
You can't say what you want.
Yeah, you can't say what you want. Queen, what's her name? Whatever, 85 to Xfinity. My suit is coming. You can't say what you want to
you
say
gonna sue
to
a
me.
Come on, man.
What?
That ain't gangster, man.
Didn't I just tell you standing on business?
Wow.
Standing on
Yeah,
it.
I think that you know, because this was Tasha K alleging that Cardi B had herpes. Like these were some
you
serious
can't.
accusations. And I think this just goes to show, like some people are in the comments like, leave her alone, like you've already won, da da da. But they don't understand what's going on. So this was Tasha K's way of striking a deal with Cardi, so that she won't keep coming at her neck, because Cardi was coming for assets. She was coming for her YouTube money. I think that she collects on her YouTube money now. Like she was coming for everything. So I think this is a way for her to kind of compartmentalize the lawsuit money that is owed, the debt being owed, while still being able to kind of build a life. And
I'm glad that sue culture goes both ways.
Yeah,
Think
because-
about this. You seen one person come after Fifth, and that was Daphne Joy, his ex. And that went away in 2.2 seconds. Ain't nobody coming after Fifth.
Oh,
'cause that's
Fifth got
the
the
truth.
lawyers on, did that?
Nah, but Fifth is it defamation? Yeah, but it can't really be defamation if it's the truth.
if it's truth,
You know what I
that's
mean?
part of
But you gotta
defamation,
kinda-
that it
yeah.
has to not be,
Well, I think
actually be
us
facts.
as media blossoming, media people. This is a good lesson, because you can't just say what the fuck you want. There's either she's lucky that Cardi B ain't have motherfuckers $150 her somewhere. You know what I'm saying? You know what a $150 is?
No, I'm from Alabama, sir. What is that?
So a $150 is a New York term for when someone takes a razor and slashes your face, and it takes about exactly 150 stitches to put
That's
it
why I
back
haven't
together.
been to New York
So,
in years.
so what I'm saying is, maybe this should be a segment. We're gonna do like a New York word of the day or some shit like that, right? Because I just gave y'all a few. But anyway,
You tell 'em we
on
hit
a
niggas
more
with-
serious note,
We
Folding
learned
chairs.
a
On a
buck
more
50
serious
today
note-
class.
Mafia down
We
there if
learned
y'all
buck
want
50.
that now.
on a more serious note, maybe the suing culture is one thing, but the getting your ass beat culture is a whole different thing. So at the end of the day,
Riverboat ass whooping in Montgomery?
right? Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I'm just saying.
Montgomery ball.
But we don't cut you. I mean, we
Yes.
just
She paid $150 instead of having to get one. So at the end of the day, like,
I feel that.
Cardi is known to get people touched.
That's what I'm trying to tell
she
you.
is a grimy
Cardi's the big
lady.
homie.
You know,
Hey, can
she's
y'all go
known
back
to
and
get
make sure
people
I ain't
touched.
say
So
nothing about
I'm
Cardi
surprised.
in none
But
of these shows?
she hit her the legal way, you know. And I think you just got to learn from your mistakes, because a lot of these bloggers and people that call themselves journalists, because that's not journalism, you know, and we use that term very loosely these days. And you just cannot, if the woman don't have, you know, you can't use gossip as fact. And you were presenting this as fact, and you kept on doing it. She gave you the warning to stop, and you said, fuck that, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. And so she slapped you with a lawsuit, and now I'm bankrupt. You can't, you know, don't do this to me. And I just think it's funny. She got what she deserved.
She did. She did. I'm only on this show to get rich people to say egregious stuff about me so I can sue.
Listen.
And it hasn't happened yet, but let's get to it.
She said.
Drake!
She said these is blood shoes.
Hey, that's what she said, man. But we can
I'ma
move
leave
on
it at
from that
that.
because you got me with the $150. I'm
Yeah.
good.
Y'all scary, huh? In
Yeah,
New
y'all
York.
got some problems.
All right. So moving on.
Same.
Kanye West, your favorite person. Brian Miller.
Listen.
Kanye is still pursuing his clothing line with the swastika after denouncing that he was a Nazi.
Listen, to all of the Kanye supporters, every last one of you, the whole Kanye is woke, and he used this moment as the biggest double standard ever to show that this has been happening to us for years. No, Kanye is a capitalist that likes to make money. He thinks he's an expert in the fashion field. He does not care about civil liberties, sensibilities. He does not care about how people feel and what he does to people. So ultimately, put this kid back on his meds, stop defending him, take microphones out of his hand musically or from a media standpoint, and let this dude like chill the hell out. Like put him, Puff, and a few others, Amber Rose and Kodak Black, and you could go visit them and give them some chicken and, you know, have
So
that
what do you think
conversation.
about putting them on their own island?
I think he was building one. He had this vainglorious idea about building his own city. He should. And invite everybody out that supports him. That's what he should do. Because this is, honestly, to be perfectly honest, think about it this way for 2.2 seconds. And I said this last week. If any media personality, I don't give a shit how justified you thought you were, had a t-shirt with a black man being lynched on it, which kind of is the exact same thing that represents to Jewish people, we would have been at his ass so long ago.
Well,
and that is what he's doing to an entire race of people every time.
I agree with that, and I think that is definitely hateful and hurtful. But I think that we need to have the same energy with everyone that does that, because as you and I know, you grew up in Alabama and I lived there for a couple of years, and I think I don't know what brand. I'm pretty sure I saw quite a few Confederate flags.
But here's the thing.
And even though there's a difference in, I guess, the degree of whatever, it still is something that when we see it as black people, it's something that bothers us, just like that.
It does,
It's not
you know
a
what I mean?
difference,
But it's
actually.
not the same. And it is
Why?
it is racist. It is. But when I say it's not the same, you had an entire side of a country fighting for their way of life, right? I'm not saying it was right. Slavery was wrong, obviously. Kanye thinks it was a choice. What I'm saying is the swastika was the symbol of the race of people who enslaved an entire race of people in concentration camps, raped, murdered, killed, all of that, genocide to the hilt. So what I'm saying is every time you put that on, you are bringing something up that they have buried. And when it comes to that flag, we got that flag removed. That flag is down.
It still flies.
Flies where?
I mean, maybe not.
In
You
somebody's
know,
yard.
maybe not at the state. I think at some of the state,
T-shirts,
this shit still flies in fucking South Carolina.
And I'm not saying that racist people don't exist, and I'm not saying Kanye obviously is not the only person to wear a swastika, but as a black man who should understand, you should be ashamed of yourself.
Well, I'm not justifying it
No,
by
not
any
you.
means.
No,
I'm just saying
Kanye.
have
I'm
the
in
same
agreement.
energy with
I'm
all
in agreement with you. I think I
symbols
said
of
when
hate.
I agree with y'all
When
on
we,
that.
talked, when we talked about this on the podcast, two shows ago, I think I said the same thing. It's like when we talk about us, it's always remember the Holocaust, remember, the Jews and the people that died, that were slain, and Hitler was terrible, and all of these things. I absolutely agree. But like you said, we got to keep the same energy with things because they just tell black people to get the fuck over it. Just get over it and stop looking, that doesn't stand. We get to hear why the Confederate flag doesn't mean what it exactly means. We know that is a racist statement. They were fighting for it to keep slavery, to keep enslaved. Like, we have to think about, we don't know the worst things about slavery, but somewhere in some place, there is a piece of furniture with our ancestors' hair and stuffed inside of it. Like, they were taking, Abraham Lincoln had slaves' teeth in his mouth. Like, we have to understand
that's crazy.
that
Using them as dentures.
skin was being stripped from our ancestors' bodies to make shoes. So they degraded us and thought so low of us that they started to put and insert our body parts into furniture.
That's
so
crazy.
we're talking about, I understand and I can get it. It is a big deal. This is fucked up what Kanye is doing. However, I am in agreement that we got to keep it the same across the board. There has to be a same level of outrage. I don't want to hear why the Confederate flag doesn't mean what it exactly means. It is a racist statement. It's a racist symbol, and it should offend the same way that the swastika does.
should.
Because just like 6 million people died in the Holocaust, we don't even know, because some people took the boat. They jumped off the boat. They chose not to deal with it. Some people didn't make it. Thousands of people on those boats. They carried thousands of people on these slave ships, and some of them were sitting in water the entire time, did not make it, freezing water at that, were dead upon arrival. So they didn't even make it into it. We have to understand that picnics came from pick a nigga, where people would sit outside, sit on the ground in blankets. White families are having lunch as people are on stage getting whipped and being bought and sold as property. So you cannot tell me that the symbols don't mean the same thing.
I'm going to say this because I don't want to cheapen what you said, because I think what you said was very, very important, and I completely agree. I'll say this. We as black people, we will bear that cross for other races, because we understand. What was surprising to me during this past election was how many Hispanics were like, oh, y'all are wrong, y'all are wrong. And now on the other side of that election, it's like, black people, we got to stick together. I'm
Fuck
like,
around and
what?
find out. And I love the energy that black people are giving. It's not our fight. It's not our fight.
that's
Our
not
hands
our
are washed. We tried to tell y'all. We tried to give y'all the game. All the people, you see all these people crying out that are government workers now. Well, Trump, I voted for you. I've showed up to work on time. I fought for this. I've had my job for 15 years, and I voted for you. Da 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 da. You think that man cares?
Listen, eggs are still
don't
expensive,
care.
and Lil S.A. and Lil They are on the way out.
To Guantanamo Bay.
It is what it is.
what I think, to couple with what you said, and I think I sent y'all both them. It was a meme, or not a meme, a infographic. That's what they call it, right? I didn't realize that it was so many like massacres here.
Towns, and black people.
So many
black
massacres in the United States.
Yes.
So if you really, really think about it, I mean, they haven't officially deemed it, but if you think about it, we've had many Holocaust things similar of ourselves.
Of course.
Like there's an infographic with at least they had slides with like 20 massacres,
But
and then go in the
all
comments.
of this is that they do certain things to lessen our history, because right now they're trying to wipe our history out of schools.
No question.
But they've been doing this. This has been an ongoing thing. Like Martin Luther King, there were color cameras. Those pictures are in color, but they make them in black and white to make it seem like this was ages ago.
Absolutely.
So it's all an act to erase history, or to minimize what's going on, or to think like, you know, that was a long time ago. You know, there was white. Some of our family members were around for segregation. You know,
Right.
like it wasn't that long ago. There's still living people. What's her name? I'm going blank. That integrated schools. She was the first. Ruby Bridges.
yeah,
Yes,
there you go.
is still alive. Has a Twitter account.
Yeah.
So we're talking
Right.
about, it's not that long ago.
No.
But we're told to shut the fuck up
That was 56 years ago. It
and
ain't that long.
accept it.
I mean, it's,
And
you know,
times are better because y'all have jobs and you should be okay.
yeah.
But
It's
when
very, very sad.
it's a swastika, let's throw our
But
arms
you know
up in
what?
the air in outrage.
I think for me, it was not moving the goalpost and saying that you of all people have this influential voice. Like, don't spread that. Don't
Yeah.
put that in the atmosphere,
Yes,
dude.
and the Aryan race is white, blonde-haired, blue-eyed.
And
So
would
I
kill
don't
you in
understand.
a
It
New
doesn't
York
even
minute.
really matter. Like Hitler would not have liked Kanye. You know, like him proclaiming to be a Nazi is insane to me. So, like I said, I don't agree
Whatever.
with the shit, but yeah,
God
I'm gonna
bless
pop
him.
it for it because the black experience is all I know.
Yeah, this
I'm a
is the
black
God
woman.
bless him episode.
All right.
Yes. All right.
I'm
moving
black
on.
and I'm
Moving on.
proud.
we didn't talk about this in pre-pro, but I do want to bring it up that Target's market value dropped $15.7 billion once they announced that their DEI initiatives were ending. I just want to talk about that because we had a good discussion about DEI last week, and I think it's another episode of Fuck Around and Find Out. The black buying power, and not even black buying power, but because if you look on Target's TikTok right now, everybody is talking about going to Costco because some like J.P. Morgan, I think is it Charles Schwab?
There's a lot of companies.
Costco are leaning more into their DEI initiatives, and so.
You said J.P. Morgan, right?
Yeah, Chase.
I think I
Chase.
With Chase too.
Yeah,
Yep.
same. They're leaning more into it. So certain companies, and so in Target's TikTok right now, they're getting spammed with comments like, "Oh, do they sell this at Costco? Okay, I'll think about, I'm gonna grab this when I go to Costco." Like they're using all of these companies, and I think it's just hilarious now that they're trying to roll back. They put out a statement on their website saying that I think they renamed it, but it's still like a DEI program. But
DEI elimination is not a mandate for the private sector.
Right.
It's a suggestion.
Right.
So ultimately, you're saying that this entire time, thank you, God, for Trump, because this entire time I've been wanting to wipe it out. No one has said, let's put reform to it. Let's retool this the way we see it. Everybody's like, nope, let's get it up out of there. So cool. If it's
No
that
more
blanket
method
for
body
you,
wash for me.
I agree. If it's that blanket for you, then
No
cool.
more method body wash.
Here's my only thing, people, and I'm gonna say this, and please, listen, I'm asking the producers of this show to highlight this. Do not let February 28th be February 28th. Make it the day after, and the day after, and the day after, and the day after, until the message is felt. Because again, when you affect industry in their pocket, they will give you whatever you want. And we're no longer in the let's kumbaya. Now it's like, you know what? I'm gonna tell you what I want, and you tell me what you want, because you want my capital, you want my dollars to keep being spent here.
Right.
Cool. I need fair and equitable practices in your business to do that.
Yeah.
However you want to define that, let's talk about it. But the whole, we're done with it. Well, cool. So are we then. All good.
I think hitting them in the money is where they're going to make the change.
Absolutely.
Taking your dollars away, your spending money, your spending power away from them is when you'll start to see change.
If you
And
have
that's with
no more
anything.
money, you can cause no more mischief. That's what it is.
I just wanted to
Okay,
bring that
dog.
up because that was interesting. 15.7 billion. So, and it's not, it's not a black thing. It is a lot of people are affected by
Of
these
course.
drawbacks and pullbacks, but they found out. And now they're trying to redo.
Diversity,
Make
equity,
Costco
and
it is, right?
inclusion.
Sam's Club,
Costco.
right?
Hey, Costco it is. I'm cool with Costco.
I
Let's
love
get it.
Costco. No, Sam's is Sam Walton. That's Walmart. So, and they removed theirs.
Oh,
too.
okay.
Yeah.
Fuck Sam's Club.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Costco.
Costco.
All right, moving on. Megan Thee Stallion is back in the limelight. She wants Tory Lanez to be deposed over her defamation and cyberstalking lawsuit against blogger Milagro Grams. Meg's legal team filed a motion to approve the deposition from the jailed rapper as they continue their investigation into allegations Meg made against the internet personality last year. She previously sued Grams, known as born Elizabeth Cooper, for allegedly participating in coordinated effort to spread lies about Megan. Meg's team presented alleged financial records that showed Lanez had paid out Cooper up to $3,000 from 2020 to 2022 to spread misinformation about Megan. But I just want to hear what y'all want to
But
thought.
that's one of them instances I might not would have took the money.
Why? Why would you take the money?
It's another blogger being sued.
Because now, I mean, the money that you took is not going to be equal to the money that
It's
you're
gonna
going to
cost to
spend to
fight it.
defend yourself, and
Yeah.
if you lose. So I probably
Or
wouldn't have took the money.
tarnishing your brand to the point that the people that built your career and just saying,
Right.
you know what, I'm gonna take this one-off check. I'll just say, look, man, justice. I'm not mad. You seeking justice? Go get them.
Yeah, she doesn't want. A lot of people, I was reading the comments, like they think that she's going and it's a new lawsuit against Tory Lanez for defamation. It is not. This is a current lawsuit against a blogger. She wants to depose Tory Lanez so that her lawyers can question him about his involvement with the $3,000 being sent. And $3,000 is not, like you said, is not enough.
Now, if I'm
for
him,
you got to defend
you get
yourself.
no cooperation from me. If I'm sitting in jail now, it's like I'm like Woody.
Well, he
I don't
doesn't.
know.
That's why they filed it with the judge, because it's going to be up to the judge.
They're trying to
whether
get him subpoenaed
they
more
want-
or
yeah,
less. So
to-
he
you
got
still
to.
dep-
can.
to
But when
depose
I
him.
get to court, Woody was there.
You
to
should
answer.
start
Woody
singing
said,
some of
"I
his
don't know."
songs.
Man, I would be like, look, bro, I don't know. Maybe.
They telling him to leave her alone. But if I'm Meg, I'm not letting my foot up off the gas. Like you are.
Foot?
This is my foot off the gas.
As Queens.
No. I'm just.
It was a Queensy
I don't get
point.
it.
He was
No, her
pointing
foot.
out.
Oh, I wasn't even thinking
My
like that.
bad. I'm
Yeah,
just- I'm being
no.
stupid.
Okay, I was like, I didn't even think about that. But no pun intended
A
at
good
all.
foot.
I love me some eggs. So I
love
think
Meg,
she should
but-
keep her foot on the gas with this situation, because I think this is similar to Tasha K. You
She
fuck
wouldn't get-
around, you find
cool
out.
with it,
I'm
but-
going to continue to do it, and now she's suing everybody involved. That was. I hope
That's
she
cool.
go after academics too.
But
Sue his ass too.
I'm not helping you do anything if I'm Tory Lanez. Nothing.
He's not gonna help. I don't think he's gonna help, but I think it's more
He
of a
knows-
power move
but
to
he
say that you
knows
gotta
what he
come to
was-
court.
That's cool. I mean, you get a free day out of jail. It's all good. Get, you
Let
know.
me say this. You been to jail before?
No.
The,
Not that I would say on
that's-
camera anyway.
That's not
what.
That's not really a free day out of jail. Is not as fun as you think it is.
Well, listen to what I'm telling
Going
you.
to court.
Locked up or fresh air. Might get him old burger.
I
up
mean,
out
if
of
you
it. Who
if you
knows?
got wrecked, you getting fresh air. But you got to wake up early in the morning. You got to go down to the get child. You got to sit in the holding cell. You got to get bust. You got to sit down in the courthouse.
Man, this sounds like another show.
Yeah, I'm a little trauma.
Wrong
Trauma,
show.
yeah. Well,
Let's go.
well, don't do the crime.
I know
if
that's
you can't
right.
do the time. And now another blogger is getting sued for defaming this girl. Also, this is a form of intimidation, and I think this is part of the reason why Diddy did not receive a bond for intimidating witnesses and doing things while you're doing crimes while in jail. You're sitting in a prison cell and you're still finding ways to antagonize this girl when you have an order that says you're not supposed to speak to her, about her, whatever, but then you start to pay someone to do your dirty work for you, and now it's backfiring.
Oh, so this was going on while he was in jail.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
He'll never cop to it.
Yes.
You
I
can't
thought it was
prove
like during the trial.
No,
like
no,
trying
this
to
is
decry
why-
it. Okay,
no,
this is
no,
during.
yeah.
Oh yeah, he's bugging. The fuck.
Maybe you can prove it.
Yeah.
But you'd be hard
Well,
pressed.
you know, that's that
the
Canada shit,
financial
man.
statements linking
From him though?
from him to her, to the blogger.
Well, then
Yes.
he's stupid.
Oh, yeah.
That's
It's
what
financial
happened.
statements
Oh, he's
that's what I'm
good
saying,
and
that
gone.
there's $3,000 between 2022, 2022.
But she's gonna have to pay. She's gonna have to prove that those payments were for that.
It might have
gonna
been
be tough.
promoting music, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's gonna
But
be tough.
it's defaming her. Like, again,
I feel
we're
it.
talking about the
I feel that.
same thing. So you're promoting lies. I think that
Yeah.
there definitely is. I'm interested to see Tory Lanez in court to see what
I think
if he is
I think Tory
deposed.
Lanez got a bum rap. I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you because again, listen, if y'all all and again, I don't know the entire ins and outs of the case, but what I do know, y'all all kicking it and it's some backbiting going on. Should he have waved the gun and shot anybody? No, but I mean, it's
Well,
one
we
of
don't
those
know
things-
that happened.
Well, that's what he got convicted.
All I
for.
want to know is, do you think if he go to court, you think they're gonna let him wear his wig fitted?
You ought to be ashamed.
Well, I don't
of
know.
yourself.
What did he have his wig on in prison?
I don't
When there
know.
was a riot, there was a riot
there
that
was a
broke
riot
out. He
yesterday,
was trying to
right?
record. Oh yeah, that's another thing. He's recording in prison.
Well, I mean, Sean did it. You know, I mean, a few people did it. So
Listen, man.
Do y'all want new music from Tory Lanez?
No. I don't
I
want new
don't.
music
I
from
can't
half the
lie
people
to you.
putting it
I
out
can't
Y'all
right
want
now.
his prison
I
music?
cannot think of a Tory Lanez song right now.
Do y'all want to hear his prison music?
He's been
No.
dropping music every Friday.
Well, he should.
He has.
Yeah, like every Friday, like 2 songs.
Music is so saturated right now, bro.
Yeah, I never knew that. That's new.
He dropped a song with DDG too in prison.
Damn, what's that song, Tory Lanez song I like?
DDG's like.
B.I.D. is the only regular that I
Anyways,
like, but
that
yeah.
was. I just thought that was interesting.
Yeah, it was.
Moving on to our final topic, guys. The main focus at Irv Gotti's funeral appeared to be that Jay-Z attended and sat front row. Question is Irv Gotti's legacy being buried under the person he was while he was here on Earth?
Well, first and foremost, rest in peace, Irv again. I had a lot of people that was there, you know, from my neighborhood and just other people in the industry that was there. So I think that, again, despite his imperfections and whatever anyone would, may think about him, I think it's kind of bad that I guess the best thing or the only thing that the media could cover is, they showed Ja giving, emotional and giving part of the eulogy, and you see Jay sitting there, and then they showed the pictures of Jay with DNY from Rough Riders. And that's like it. And I think that, again, good, bad, ugly, this man was spearheaded or helped spearhead some of the most important music and art in our lifetime. So I think for that to be like the only thing that's discussed or the way that the media is honoring him, like that's really fucking sucky, I think. I think that's really whack.
I'm gonna be real careful with how I say this. Like real careful. Especially
watch out, because Queens is watching. Queens is watching.
Please.
Here's the thing about that, right? When we talk about tarnishing his legacy, part of his legacy was how shrewd he was, right? Love it, hate it, whatever. But when you, by self-admission, say, I tried to block this man's career, I tried to mess this person up, I tried to control this and marginalize whatever. And I was saying this to you in pre-pro, God bless the dead, of course, but Irv Gotti hasn't, if we're talking about entertainment, hasn't been relevant in over a decade, like relevancy. So when you're the media, I can go out here and say Irv Gotti passed away. I did. But where did this sensationalism come from? 50 Cent, like right off the heels. Mm-hmm. So I think it was in a way kind of honoring it and bringing more attention with Jay being there. I get where you're coming from, but the fact that he paid respects after even they had beef, I agree that was respectful. But I think, your media, you got to have we're in the clickbait era. You still got to get people to watch and see. And just Irv Gotti's funeralist today wouldn't have done the same thing. So I think it's a double positive if you look at it that way.
I guess. I mean, again, it's an unfortunate situation. I mean, 50 Cent is my favorite rapper. And I happen to be kind of like on the bench and was in the vicinity of like all of that shit happening on both sides. Mm-hmm. On, the Murder Inc. side, on the G-Unit side, because that's my neighborhood, right? But, I think still separating that, because that wasn't cool what he did to Fifth either. Just separating that, I just think that especially our music media outlets, I think there should have been just a little bit more dedication and just a little bit more respect, I think, instead of that being the only thing. I mean, it could have been anything else.
What do you want him to say?
I don't know what I want him to say, but I don't think that, to me, I just think that it should have been something else and something more. Like, I can't think of what I would have wanted, like a hip-hop DX or all hip-hop to say, but I do know that they should have said more than just, well, hey, Jay-Z was here and he's taking pictures with DNY.
They did when he passed, but kind of the day of the funeral, it's like, what else do you want to say?
It could have, Irv, I think, again, despite his imperfections and despite what anyone might have felt with him, he deserves a little bit more. And I hope, somehow someone gives him some type of commemoration in a proper way. That's all I'm saying. Queen shit.
Every action has a reaction.
Be careful.
That
I think they discriminating, Queens.
I don't listen.
I'm just saying.
I think that, if you want a good legacy, and it comes with being a good person too. Like we look at Diddy, like his legacy is being tarnished by a lot of what he's done and what he's being alleged to have done.
That's a good one.
I think, what you do.
What do you say when Diddy passes away now? Because he is one of the most influential black people to ever
when he passes
exist.
away, when R. Kelly passes away, it's the same thing.
R. Kelly had a kennel though.
I'm just saying. Just saying.
No disrespect, but you can't. That's not apples for apples.
Puff
and Irv are not apples for apples.
What?
They're not.
How?
Puff and Irv.
What do you think Puff did that Irv didn't?
No,
because he had weird relationships with women.
And Irv is like
Ashanti
They're not apples for apples.
You talking about in terms of relevancy?
Yes.
Even more so. That's my point.
Yeah, I don't
Puff
think
is
it's
more
apples
relevant
for
than
apples.
Irv.
So I think it would be a little bit different because Puff. If God forbid, if that happened to him, that's going to be an event
I don't think he
within
would.
itself.
I don't think he would be celebrated.
They
the
probably
way
have
you
a
think he
fucking
would.
red carpet outside.
I don't think
Puff's,
so. At this point, I don't think so.
No.
You don't
If
think so?
Puff passed away a year from now, let's say Puff passed away in jail, God, I don't know what the future has for him, but if he passes away, I think what has happened to his legacy over the course of the last 2 years has tarnished anything positive that we said other than, okay, Bad Boy Records, I get it, but dude,
But
like,
Puff,
damn.
like similar to Irv Gotti, a lot of his artists, people in the industry have
came
negative
out,
things
spoke out
to
against
say
him,
about
right.
him. He's terrible. So I don't know. I just think if you want your legacy, I think having a good legacy, even though we're not ignoring what Irv Gotti has done for music and the strides he's made, we're not ignoring that, but also it comes with being a likable and good person. And if you're not a good person, then there's not much to, it takes,
Maybe
it takes
misunderstood.
away.
Maybe misunderstood.
It takes away from your
is
legacy.
better than good or bad because good or bad is relative. But I get you though. I
Yeah.
mean,
Well,
it's all good.
that's all we got
I
today,
love it.
guys.
I got a question for y'all though, just before we wrap.
Is it Queensy though?
No.
I'm just asking.
This ain't Queensy.
Okay, all right, bet.
So, how do y'all feel about that Nokia song?
I wish we could like roll credits right now.
Yeah.
Like
Roll credits, why?
How do you want me to feel about
What
it?
do you
Listen,
want us
man,
to feel
I mean-
What did you
about
tell
it, Jack?
us?
What?
I told y'all
you
that was
want-
gonna be
Listen,
that one. Shout out to
for
Elcon, man.
everybody in the business, listen to me.
Shout out to Cass.
Give me an influential name in music right now, just one. Don't matter. Genre. don't
Kodak
matter.
Black.
Kodak Black puts an album out this week, and the only other 3 albums that come out is Stanzas, mine, and yours. He's gonna be number one.
Okay.
That's what it is.
So-
It's gonna be.
Nah, man. I mean, it's rumors that it's gonna be a real Drakey year this year.
Drakey, put that on. Drakey.
Yeah, that's another word, Drakey.
Okay, if he's gonna put out music, I hope so, and stays out of the courtrooms. But
No, that album is terrible, and you
all
know it.
right, yes,
Got 6 songs on there.
you got 6.
Out of the 21,
Out of
I
21.
counted 7 records.
Lord, have
That's a
mercy.
failing grade.
I mean, it's a third.
That's a failing grade.
How do you compare those 7 to his top songs ever?
I mean, they're not fucking with none of the top songs.
And,
in my
but you're
opinion.
okay with it being number one.
What do you mean?
You're okay with that. Oh, speaking of which, hey, dude, whatever his name is, Andy Green from, I think that's his name, from Rolling Stones. You have lost your damn mind. Don't you ever in your life profess to know what a good Michael Jackson song is, boy?
Yeah.
Are you
I saw
insane?
I saw. I think JD, B Cox, a lot of.
Do you know
people.
how many songs came from Lady in My Life? How many songs were sampled
Yeah, right.
for Lady in My Life?
What
Those
do they
songs
know,
would have
though?
never
Hey
existed.
Lover, hey Lover, big,
Hey
one,
Lover.
Big Queen's record.
There you
LL.
go.
What do they know?
Outside of, they don't know shit. Rolling Stone, y'all about to lose readership, man.
Yeah,
You really are
that's
behind this
just-
bullshit.
I think we're gonna have to get at them, man.
Yeah, seriously. Boycott Rolling Stone with Walmart.
All right.
that's
Well,
that.
thanks guys for tuning in with us. This is That's Debatable. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Hit us up.
85 Infinity. Get
And
at
just,
it.
and just letting y'all know. Just letting y'all know. If keep the comments a little, speak your mind, but be respectful because
Yeah, keep that
we
150 in
are.
mind.
If
We
you
can
see an
handle
It's
it.
Jack Danz in the comment,
We
that is
can
not my
handle
AI.
it.
That's me.
All right, and this is That's Debatable.